going to test the insulation on some of the laparoscopic instruments I've been inspecting. It's safest to wear gloves because I'll be using a grounding wire and running some voltage through the instrument. We're using the McGann insulation tester. This is the main unit right here. And the attachments that I'll primarily use are this 3-hole tester and a brush. So the way this works is you attach the grounding wire to the bottom, put whatever attachment you choose to use into the top, set the kilovolts to the correct parameters for the attachment, then grab an instrument, clip the alligator clip onto a bare metal part of the instrument and run it through one of the sized holes in that tester. The bare metal at the tip will make a beeping sound. Anything on the insulation on the shaft should not beep. If it does, that indicates a break in the insulation, and it means the instrument needs to be sent out for repair. On this particular instrument, the insulation was a little thicker up near the working end, and it wouldn't fit through the correct size hole in the tester, so I grabbed a donut. And it basically is just a ring with some metal brushes inside. This will allow me to run the entire length of the shaft through the testing unit. You can hear the beeping when I get near the working end of it. I can run down the whole shaft easily. There's a spot on the insulated shaft of this instrument where it failed the test. I changed the attachment back to the original 3-hole attachment to see if I could get a visual on where the damage was on the insulation, so I could make a note of it on the instrument itself and on the repair tag. For this last instrument, I'm going to switch to the brush attachment. It has an insulated handle that I need to test, and I can't run that through a regular tester. So I'm going to run the brush along the shaft to make sure everything's good there. And then I'll use the brush to test the handle. I want to make sure the rings are good, everything is passing the test. There are some bare spots in the hinge area. There's a little screw that's kind of exposed, not insulated, so there'll be a little beeping there. I just want to make sure every area that needs to be insulated is insulated properly. Now when we pick up the instrument that failed the insulation test, you can see that there's a gap in the working end of the tool where the insulation doesn't fully meet the tip. So there's a problem there, as well as a crack somewhere in the insulation on the shaft. So now I'm going to disconnect everything, put it all back in its case, and I'm done with my insulation test.